Hi, Michael Buffer here, and you are watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here at Selhurst Park, the home of Crystal Palace Football Club, where we just witnessed Chris Billam-Smith retain his WBO Cruiserweight World title. Firstly, Adam, what did you make of Chris's performance, and do you agree with the result in the end?
I certainly do agree. I thought it was wide. I thought Chris was a worthy winner on a great stage. Really enjoyed it, actually. I brought my eldest daughter with me, a bit of a fan tonight, and I love stadium shows. It was really good seeing Ben Whittaker perform very well, and Chris Billam-Smith boxing, executing a terrific plan, as he always does. Yeah, Richard Riakporhe just never really got going. I wondered if he was a little bit dry and he hadn't warmed up properly beforehand. It's different fighting in the cold air, and yeah, for me, he just didn't. The jab looked okay at times, but he didn't really throw caution to the wind. He didn't get the combinations going. He was beaten by the better guy, and he was beaten by a long way, and it was very different to the fight 5 years ago. And I think rather than sort of assessing what went wrong for Richard, I think we should look at Chris's performance. I think he's proved again that he's a quality world champion. He deserves the opportunity now to go and fight the likes of Jaya Pattaya and try and unify the division. He's an old-fashioned throwback who just does everything pretty damn well, and he's got a great trainer in Shane McGuigan, and I'm really pleased for him. He's a gentleman inside and out of the ring, and he deserves his success.
I mean, the stage was set for Richard to win it in his beloved Selhurst Park in front of his Crystal Palace fans, but it just seemed a bit flat at times. I mean, there was a bit of success in the later rounds, but not enough to get him over the line, and it almost felt as if it was a guy looking at Richard. It felt as if looking at him, it felt like he looked a bit drained at the weight, and there just wasn't something right with him. I mean, what would you put his performance down to, given the fact that everything was set up for him so nicely to go and win a world title on probably the biggest crowd he'll fight in throughout his career?
Yeah, he was physically in phenomenal shape, wasn't he, Richard? But maybe he was slightly tied at the weight. As I said, I just don't think he really warmed up and got into it. Maybe a little bit, cold, frozen. Not rabbit in the headlight stuff, but a lot of pressure on him in front of a home crowd. And Chris had that in Bournemouth. He'd had that experience of fighting Lawrence Okoli. He just dragged the Bournemouth fans up here, and he's very good at just concentrating fully from start to finish. You see, he never celebrated at the end of any round that he won. He just went back to the corner, got on with it, and you can see the emotion at the end all pouring out, almost like if you compare it to tennis, like one of the top players, like a Novak Djokovic, for example, who plays 4 or 5 sets, and he keeps it all in, and then at the end he just lets it all out. And Chris was like that tonight. I thought he contained himself very well. He boxed beautifully, and he just was the much better man on the night, and very surprising. I thought it'd be much closer after their first fight, and Chris Billam-Smith was great.
The opportunities are endless now for Chris. I mean, there's Jaya Pattaya, there's Badu Jack, there's Zerdo, Lawrence Okoli. There might fancy a rematch. I mean, what would you like to see Chris Billam-Smith do next? And he deserves, rightfully so, to choose what he does next. Yeah,
well, I caught up with Jaya and Badu in Saudi recently. They're two, useful fights for Chris. I just think he'll enjoy this. He'll go back to his family. He's got a young family. I know he's been away from them. He's been, training, obviously up with the McGuigans, and that's hard when you've got little kids. So he wants some family time now, and then he'll dust himself down and he'll go again. That's what Chris Billam-Smith does. So really pleased. Great night here. We've got a great night for GBM in a couple of weeks in Coventry. We've got the Chantel Cameron's coming up soon, August the 3rd in Barnsley. Lots of stuff happening in Britain, and America as well, August 3rd, September the 21st, Wembley, Saudi League. Let's see what happens there. Good times in boxing, but tonight's Chris Billam-Smith's night, away from home. The midnight train is, what time is it now? It's 11:45, so we'll all be gone before midnight, hopefully.
One final one, just to touch on what you just said about His Excellency's proposed idea for the Boxing Saudi League. Great for boxing, confident it happens. The man makes things happen when he wants it to, and Turki Alalshikh, the genius that I like to call him, once he says he's going to do something, he does it. So, your thoughts on the Saudi Pro Boxing League?
Yeah, I've heard rumours for quite a while that they're looking to shake it all up. Turn boxing on its head. They already have, with the amount of great fights they put on and the amazing purses for boxers. The fans are getting incredible matches that were only dreamt of 2 or 3 years ago. So it's really good to see. and I'm fascinated to see whether they can pull this off. Obviously, they've got the money. It seems like they've got the willpower, the desire. It's going to take a huge amount of work and effort, but if anyone can, Turki Alalshikh and his team will.
Adam Smith, a pleasure as always. Thank you very much for your time. Get home safe, and we look forward to seeing you at the GBM show.
Thanks very much. Look forward to it too.